Welcome to the debut episode of The Connected Career on Madden 15. Wanted to get somebody going here. I've really kind of taken to the individual player format of the sports games lately, and I think part of that has come about because I switched from Xbox 360 to PS4 specifically for MLB The Show. Diehard baseball fan. I've always heard how amazing the game is, and they weren't kidding. So with the road to the show, I've just fallen in love with kind of the single player stuff. Wanted to do it for Madden, so I decided to check out the Connected career in the player level. I've done it, I've kind of managed a team. I've even done the fantasy draft thing. So I want to do it with the player. I want to do a quarterback. And I was kind of looking after all of them here, all the different types. And obviously they all have their strengths and weaknesses. You see them right there. But what it really came down to for me was that the balanced one really was the best, pretty clearly, at least for me, from what I wanted to do, because the negatives, they're not even all negatives, really. The okay medium accuracy, okay, that's not bad. Poor deep accuracy, okay, that's bad, but I don't throw deep a lot, so that doesn't kill me. And then the decent awareness, always want high awareness, but usually I think that can be mitigated by actually playing the games. The awareness will be a little less important, so I'm not that worried. I kind of like starting with the balance. And then for the backstory, I didn't want to be an early guy, didn't want to be undrafted. I went right in the middle again there with the late round pick. Figure that I can join one of the teams that has a scrub quarterback and kind of overtake them. So I mean, there's a lot of teams that you just bypass because you're not going to pass their incumbent. See the Chargers here in a second. You're going to see that it'd be third string if you came in there behind Kellen Clemens and Phil Rivers. You're not going to pass Luck, Romo. I considered the Dolphins, but 4 points behind Tannehill already. Didn't want to mess with that too much. Don't love their weaponry anyway. A bunch of other teams here. Obviously, the Jaguars have to be a consideration because you can go in there and just kind of start. But I'll tell you what, the honest reason why I didn't want to use them is I hate their uniforms, and that matters. I considered the Raiders. I really did like their uniforms. They have some weaponry. I'm still a McFadden fan. I don't really. I admit that he's not good, but I'm still a fan. So despite being a Lions fan, I'm going a particular route that you could probably guess if you know the alphabet here as it goes to the team names, and that is the Vikings, as you saw there, right there neck and neck with Castle. And so I sped it up here through this creation. Had to make sure. Went to Texas, my alma mater here, and it's not as robust of a creator as Road to the Show. But frankly, I think that's okay. That's not a huge deal to me personally because in baseball, you're seeing the face all the time. In football, you got the helmets on. So what do I need to have, a whole creation for the nose or the chin or the ears? It doesn't matter. So that part, that's kind of fine to me, and that's part of why I sped through it. I didn't care that much. Want to have decent gear. I wanted to make the size good. I think the gear is good, and I wanted to have the right size, which 6'5", and I didn't do my exact weight. I'm 6'5", rail thin. Think of Chris Sale, speaking of baseball, if you want an idea of my body type. But I don't want to have my guy get killed here, so I put on a little bit of beef on him. I think he's up, 219, 234, one of those ones. Obviously, they're presets. You can't go individually there. So just kind of going through all of this. This is just the creation episode, folks. As you can see, it's got a couple more minutes here. We'll talk through, get an idea of what we're working with the Paul Sporer quarterback here on the Vikings. Now, I think if you did see it, he was rated ahead of Castle, at least as they listed it in that kind of selection screen. But as I kind of got into the preseason, he was in second string, and I get it. That makes sense. If you did have two equal quarterbacks, you would start the veteran over the young guy, I think. If the direct ratings were equal, why not take the guy who has that experience under his belt? So that's fine. I get it. I got to work my way up. With the QB throwing style, I didn't really know what to do here. I was just looking for somebody that I really like, and I found one. I found an older player that I'm a very big fan of. Not Joe Montana, actually a former, I guess, teammate of his. They would have been teammates for sure, right? At some point, Montana passed the torch to this guy, Mr. Steve Young, and that's what I went with. I'm not a lefty. I know who Steve Young was, but I don't care. Looking here, you see some solid ratings. What they say, decent awareness for an 80. That's not so bad. So I'm pretty pleased with everything they got going here. Next screen, we'll see you jump in, do a little bit of training, and then we'll get ready for preseason game one. Like I said, this is just the creation episode. Just kind of wanted to introduce my Vikings quarterback. Going to see what I can do. Going to be playing outdoors. I forgot about that. That's exciting. Seeing the Vikings have a home game outdoors this past weekend was very interesting. So that will be fun. I'm going to join this training group here in session here at the very end, just to kind of show you how I did. Spoiler alert: didn't do very well. Um, I didn't play Madden last year, so I'm going to have some work cut out for me here. As you can see, we're in 6 of 6. It's a bad pass. Force that in. I think it was to Patterson as well. So anyway, that'll wrap it up. Come back. Preseason game 1 next episode. Thanks for watching.